Coming up on the March 2nd edition of Sports Extra. What do Tar Heel fans ask every time Carolina faces the Cavaliers? Who's your daddy?
Now serving in Lenore Dining Hall, a little bit of freshly squeezed Syracuse basketball.
And a full weekend of honoring the back-to-back undefeated field hockey national champions. All that and so much more.
Sports Extra starts right now.
From the University of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
UNC entered the weekend with 3 undefeated teams. Good afternoon, I'm Caroline Boyer.
And I'm Kirsten Clark. Thanks for joining us. After the weekend, all 3 of those teams are still perfect. Let's start with men's lacrosse. 4-0 headed into the toughest match so far against 11th ranked Denver on the Pioneers' home field. The Heels started early with Henry Schertzinger spinning his opponent and slotting it past the keeper, making it 1-0. Chris Gray continued to excel for Carolina, absolutely slamming this shot from distance. However, the game was run by Justin Anderson, who opened his account with this composed finish in the first quarter. He secured his hat trick in the third quarter, smashing in this laser, making the score 13-5. He would round off his 5-goal game after receiving the pass inside and putting it past the helpless keeper. Heels hang on to win 15-13 and will return to action at Furman on Friday.
Another of those undefeated teams, women's lacrosse, also faced a tough opponent in an away matchup, taking on the 7th-ranked Virginia Cavaliers in Charlottesville. The Who scored the first 2 goals, but Carolina answered back quickly. Katie Hogue finds Jamie Ortega just like usual to put the Heels on the board. Marissa DiPietro's fancy footwork behind the cage and this beautiful bounce shot helped the Heels gain their first lead of the game. The teams went back and forth, but when freshman Emily Knowles gets the draw control and scores off the pass from DiPietro, the Heels went on a 7-0 run. Ali Mastriani scored back-to-back goals in the second half. How does she find the back of the net through this traffic? Hogue finishes with this amazing over-the-shoulder goal. The Heels win 18-12 and improve to 5-0. We have one of those players, Ali Mastriani, in studio with our Aaron Jenkins. Aaron?
Thanks, Caroline, and also thank you, Allie, for being here with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you guys had a nice win over a tough UVA team this weekend, but it was a little slow going. You guys were down by 1 at halftime, but you fired out, scoring 12 goals in the second half for the second Saturday in a row. Is there some way that Coach can maybe trick you guys into believing that the first half is actually the second half to get that momentum going a little early?
Yeah, I think we definitely knew UVA was going to be a great opponent coming in, and I think we do need to get in a better habit of not waiting till the second half to really explode. But as long as we just kind of get back into it, back to our fundamentals, know what we need to do, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, so was there a mindset change in halftime going into the second half?
I mean, Jenny definitely came into the locker room with a smile, and she said, "This is what we've been waiting for. We want to be challenged. This is why we do what we do." So every week we're getting better, and great teams like UVA push us to be better, and they make us uncomfortable, which is good because that's the only way we can get better.
And you especially had an impressive performance. You had 3 goals in just 77 seconds, which I think is unheard of. That's like less than 1 shot clock attempt. So can you just talk us through the feelings after making that 3rd goal?
I mean, it was definitely a great feeling. It's always better to be up by 4 or 5, I don't even know what it was, rather than 1. So I think it was definitely a momentum shift that we needed to move forward in the rest of the half.
And we actually have those 3 goals here on the big screen. If we can just talk through those goals right here. All right. So this is the first one.
So it starts with Hoagie, goes back to Jamie. Those 2 are insane together. Back to Hoagie. Everyone in the middle you could see is moving around, cutting, creating space, and just found that pocket and did some ballerina spin. Really, I think I was just trying to get out of the way and not hit anybody, and kind of just closed my eyes, and luckily it went in.
That's awesome. That was an awesome goal. And now we have the second one here.
Yeah, so we got Marissa. She's ridiculous behind the cage, breaking some ankles, distracting her defender. All these girls are cutting. Got Scotty coming off hot, and again, people moving around to find that pocket, and Scotty with a great feed.
Awesome, and now here's the 3rd one.
Yeah, so Taylor McDaniels, this is actually kind of funny. We sit next to each other on the bus, and we talked about this during the game. See, everyone also is moving over to create that space again. But Taylor and I were like, we're in together, let's do a flip, let's do something. And I think that's the first thing we said when we got into the huddle, like, we did it, we did it. It was so cute. So worked out.
Yeah, that's awesome team chemistry just to have that. And you guys are playing in Louisville on Thursday here in Chapel Hill. They've been a little slow going so far this season. What's the momentum like going into that game?
I mean, every single game we go into, we go with full intensity and we respect every opponent, and we just love the opportunity to play someone in a different jersey and to improve each week on what we need to get better on.
That's awesome. I'm happy for you guys and can't wait to see what else you guys do. Good luck on the rest of your season.
Thank you.
Yeah, back to you guys.
Thanks, Aaron. The men's basketball team traveled to Syracuse on Saturday to prove that its win against NC State wasn't a fluke, but a sign of more good things to come. It was raining threes throughout the night, with 6 coming within the first 6 minutes of the game. The Heels were hot. Cole Anthony had 6 of the 16 unanswered points and a Carolina scoring rampage in the first half. In the second half, reserve Christian Keeling showed off his new confidence, scoring 18 points on the night. Garrison Brooks also balled out with 26 points and a career-high 14 rebounds. The Orange couldn't stop the Heels all night, and the boys brought home their second win in a row, 92-79. Brooks came out strong, attacking the basket and dominating both offensively and defensively. The forward hit his 11th double-double this season, along with his 26 points and 14 rebounds. He also had 2 blocks and 4 assists. His leadership and poise played a huge role in the team win.
Live at the Dean Dome, Brian Gallagher to tell us his thoughts on Roy's boys. Brian?
Thanks, Caroline. We're coming up on the final 2 games of the season, and at this point, the Heels are playing for pride. Now, they have a game tomorrow night against Wake Forest. The last time these 2 teams met, the Demon Deacons throttled Carolina 74-57. The only way I see the Heels lose this time around is if it's Groundhog Day and they play just as bad as they did the first time around. Carolina shot 33% from the field and an atrocious 6% from the 3. The bank was indeed not open that night, as the team could only muster 1 made 3-pointer. The key player to watch for on the Heels is Christian Keeling. He's been huge in the past 2 games, putting up more than 15 points in each. Keeling is now finding his groove, averaging 13 points per game in the past 8 games compared to the 4.3 points he averaged in the team's first 21 games. Now, in order for the team to continue and win this game, the Heels need to shoot well and be able to contain Brandon Childress on the perimeter and Oliver Sarr under the basket. Sarr didn't do much in the first matchup against Carolina, but he's the biggest guy out there, standing 7 feet tall. He's had 2 incredible games of late. He had 25 points against Duke and 30 against Notre Dame. Garrison Brooks and Armando Bacot will have their work cut out for them, but if they can control the big 7-footer from France, it should be a great game. Reminder, tip-off is 7 p.m. tomorrow here at the Dean Dome. Back to you guys.
On Sunday, UNC took on Duke in women's basketball. The greatest rivalry in college sports was a dud on Carolina's senior day as far as Tar Heel fans are concerned. In the beginning of the game, Shayla Bennett hit this runner in the lane to get Carolina going, but the Heels trailed at half. In the second half, Malusha Tingay beat her defender and scored. Taylor Coonan also chipped in with this layup to keep the game close. Shayla Bennett scored again late, but the game was out of reach. Duke wins 73-54. The Heels will be battling the Wake Forest Demon Deacons Wednesday in round 1 of the ACC tournament. After losing in overtime against Wake in the first matchup of the season, the Heels will have to contain number 11 Ivana Raka, who's averaging 16.7 points per game. With Janelle Bailey returning to the lineup, the Heels are hoping to break a 7-game losing skid to keep their season going.
The top-ranked women's team, also undefeated, kicked off its weekend with the South's oldest rivalry as it welcomed the Virginia Cavaliers to Chapel Hill. The Heels took an early advantage as the pairing of Alexa Graham and Sarah Dawatillo battled hard to help the Heels secure the doubles point. The Heels pulled away in singles, starting with sophomore Cameron Mara, who overpowered her opponent to a straight sets win at number 3 singles. Senior Allie Sanford finished off the Hoos in straight sets as the Heels win the match 6-1. On Sunday, the Heels followed up with yet another win, easily taking care of Virginia Tech 4-0. Alexa Graham secured the match with the win on court 1. The Tar Heels moved to 16-0 and hope to keep their 32-match home win streak alive as they face the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets on Friday. Senior Sarah Davatilla now has 125 singles victories, the 6th most in program history. Davatilla is one of 3 Carolina players to reach the NCAA singles quarterfinals on 2 occasions. She was also a big part of 2 ITA national titles, including this year.
The second-ranked men's tennis team hosted ACC foe Virginia Tech in the conference opener on Sunday. Carolina started by capturing the doubles point. Watch Simon Sondergaard and Matt Kiger's dynamic teamwork as they smash the ball by this Tech duo, which is unable to make the return. In singles play, the Heels dominated, winning 5 of their 6 matches. On court 1, William Bloomberg breezed by his opponent, winning 6-0 in both sets. Rinky Hijikata had a tough first set, edging out a 7-6 win, but he pulled it together in his second set, winning 6-2. Carolina wins the match 6-1. The Heels return to the courts Wednesday to face not our rival, NC State.
Sunday morning, the Hussman School debuted the documentary Believe It, Do It, Earn It in front of the field hockey team members, their coaches, and family members. Here's a section about the toughest challenge the team faced on its way to a 2nd straight national title.
A pair of top 5 teams squaring off this afternoon in Chapel Hill. Number 1 North Carolina against number 5 Princeton here at Karen Shelton Stadium.
We've never lost in Karen Shelton Stadium, but I think at one point we realized that we are actually going to lose this game if we don't step up right now. Like, we are going to lose the game if we don't change the way we play and change our energy. And we came together as a team and we were like, we can do this. Like, we're not losing on this field. Like, we're not going to lose.
With Princeton, I think after that game, we were just kind of excited because it was such a fun comeback, but we had to look at ourselves and say, we went down 3-1 and we were down for most of the game. We can't be that team.
The Princeton game where we came back and we were down.
Matson looking for some sort of positioning, scoots it past Bayless.
This is a rocket off the stick of Aaron Matson.
Megan Duvernois will take it, the senior. Beats Bayless.
She guessed the right way. I think she even may have gotten a piece of that one. Just too much heat on it from Duvernois.
Matson spins on Von Gurka, centers, score! A 3-goal final 5 minutes.
What we did in those last 5 minutes was really powerful to us, and I think that was the turning point in the season where we realized what we can do and what we're capable of if we just do it together and play our game instead of focusing on everybody else.
That was the spark that this entire team needed. Just that reminder that we could, that we believed again. And that game carried us through the rest of the season. There was times where we went down a goal, and my mind always went back to that game. We scored 3 goals in 5 minutes. We could do anything. And so that game was crucial to this season.
There's another screening tomorrow at noon in the Blue Zone. It's free and open to the entire university community.
13 is usually an unlucky number, but when you multiply it by 100, it's a very good number indeed.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
It's me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
The softball team took on Pitt in a 3-game weekend series, trying to break a 5-game losing streak. In the bottom of the second of Game 1, Megan Dre hits a line drive up the middle. The throw is cut off by the pitcher, allowing Christina Burkhardt to score and tie the game. In the 5th inning, the Heels got a rally going as Campbell Hutcherson lined a ball past the diving shortstop. Only 1 run would score as Pitt gets the ball in quickly. Later in that inning, Lexi Godwin hits a blooper that drops just out of reach of the diving outfielder to make it a 4-3 game, giving the Heels momentum. Destiny Middleton made some big plays at third, like catching this line drive to keep the Heels close, but they lose their 6th straight 7-3. Game 2 was scoreless until the bottom of the 5th on this hit by Destiny Middleton. Christina Burkhardt slid into home plate to give UNC a 1-0 advantage. Immediately after, Abby Settlemeyer picked up an RBI to score Christina Lasea. In the 6th inning, Heels up 3-2. Middleton tripled to left, clearing the bases. The Heels win 7-2, snapping the losing streak. On day 3 against Pitt, UNC was fired up to play and end the weekend early. The Panthers got on the board first, but it was all Carolina from there. There were 3 homers hit in this game, including this bomb to right center field by Campbell Hutcherson. In the 6th inning, the Heels needed only 1 run to mercy rule when Lexi Godwin smacked this line drive to center to score Abby Settlemeyer. Carolina wins 9-1 in the 6th and takes the opening series.
Every coach dreams of breaking records and compiling hundreds of wins. It's a reality for one Carolina head coach, but she'll tell you that's the least rewarding part of her job. Coach Donna Papa is no stranger to the diamond. She's been the head coach of the UNC softball team since 1986 and recently reached her 1,300th career coaching win.
I know it's 1,300 wins, and that's a big number. But it's all the people I've had the opportunity to be associated with, whether, it's, the players, their families, the coaches, the administrators, all the people that you meet, all the other, my peers and other coaches. But it's very humbling, honestly.
But it's not the numbers, honors, and awards that have kept Coach Papa on the field for so long. It's the young women she gets to coach every day.
When they come through the door, my day brightens up. They have great personalities. They're great people. I want them to be successful also, and it's more about them being successful than me being successful.
The impact doesn't stop there. Coach Papa has influenced players like Christina Burkhardt in ways that will last a lifetime.
On the field, she's been like a rock for me in particular. She's my outfield coach, so I work with her every day in the outfield, and the outfield is one of my passions, and it's her passion, so we share that. And she's just really taught me to love going out for my teammates.
And Coach says her time at Carolina is far from over.
I'm certainly not satisfied with where we are. I want to continue to build the program to get to a different level. Where we finished last year, going to in the finals of regionals. Our goal was to get further this year, and that's still within reach. And so I want to keep growing the program.
1,000 more wins along the way wouldn't hurt. The Heels travel to play UNC Wilmington on Wednesday. UNC baseball traveled up to Minneapolis this weekend for the Cambria College Classic. In the first game against Minnesota, pitcher Will Sandy struck out a career-high 7 batters, and Aaron Sabato got his 3rd multi-hit game of the season. But the Tar Heels couldn't manage much offense and fell to the Gophers 4-1. Carolina dropped a heartbreaker 5-4 to Iowa in Game 2 of the weekend tournament. Joey Lancelotti pitched a gem for the Heels, throwing a 7-inning shutout and striking out 6 Hawkeye batters. Iowa would go on to walk it off in the 10th with a homer to left center from catcher Austin Martin. UNC was scoreless until the 7th inning of the final game of the Classic, when the bats exploded. A 2-run blast from Joey Lancelotti helped tie the game. Then a walk-off double from Clemente Inkland gave UNC the win 6-5. The Heels will be back in action tomorrow to take on UNCG.
Coming off of their most successful regular season since 1997, the Wrestling Heels are heading into the ACC Championships with confidence. Number 3 Austin O'Connor is one to watch out for as he tries to beat his runner-up finish of last season. Number 12 Kennedy Monday has also had a strong season and plans to improve on his 20-6 record at the championships. Number 13 Zach Sherman also has an impressive record this year and is working toward raising his current win percentage of 83%. 7 Tar Heels will be representing UNC at the ACC Championship on Sunday in Pittsburgh.
Coming up after the break, one campus rec instructor tells us how she turned an unhealthy obsession into a passion for helping others.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
The men's swim and dive team had a big weekend in Greensboro at the ACC Championships. Chris Thames finished 7th in the 200 backstroke. Valdas Abeliska placed 7th in the 200 breaststroke. The Tar Heels placed 5th in the 400 freestyle relay, and the highlight of the meet, Jack Messenger tying for 3rd in the 100 freestyle. Following the ACC Championships, the Heels hosted the UNC Invitational at Corey Nanatorium on Sunday. The event gives swimmers another chance to qualify for the NCAA Championships. 6 other schools, including Virginia and Duke, also joined. Though none of the Carolina swimmers made automatic cuts, there's still hope, as 9 swimmers, including Thomas Sungalia, Demetrios Demetrio, and Brianna Cameron, who were outstanding in the ACC Championships, had strong performances, which set them up well to be invited to the NCAAs.
Members of UNC's track and field teams had a big weekend at the 2020 ACC Indoor Championships at Notre Dame. Senior Daniel MacArthur brought his 2nd straight indoor shot put title back to Chapel Hill. MacArthur's winning throw of 19.86 meters put him more than 4 feet ahead of the 2nd place finisher. The men's 4x400 relay team also won its event with a time of 3 minutes and 6.66 seconds. The ACC championship record earned the unit a 9th place ranking nationally. 4 more athletes earned all ACC honors at the meet. Triple jumper Issa Pascal earned a first team spot after setting a PR in the men's triple jump. Anna Kiefer, Brianna Isles, and Kyle Towns each earned second team honors in the women's 60-meter dash, women's triple jump, and men's 60-meter dash, respectively.
Carolina women's gymnastics celebrated senior night on Friday against George Washington University. The Heels started off on vault with senior Kaja Hislop taking first place. The Tar Heels had a 3-way tie for first place on the balance beam with seniors Alexa Allen and Hislop tying with their freshman teammate Elizabeth Colton. Watch Colton here gracefully hit her back handspring step-out layout sequence. Seniors Michaela Robinson and Hislop finish out the competition on floor, tying for first place. The Tar Heels have their highest team score this season, taking the meet against GW.
Campus Rec classes are usually great, and Lexi Kopp shows us how an instructor is giving fellow students more than just a good workout.
Group fitness instructor Coral Lefkowitz is using her fitness journey to inspire UNC students in theirs.
So I have always been an athlete. When I got to high school, I played tennis and I swam. My senior year, I wasn't as involved, and I developed an eating disorder because being an athlete, it got kind of obsessive. So I started exercising in a very unhealthy way.
After coming to Carolina, Lefkowitz turned her athletic life around completely.
I got to college and was like, okay, I need to get my life in check. Sophomore year, I got into weightlifting and it changed my life. My friends started noticing a difference. I was much more happy. And so they started asking me what I was doing, and I would type up workouts for them, send it to them. And eventually it just got to the point where a lot of people were asking me. So I was like, why not make a fitness page?
To take things a step further, Lefkowitz started teaching Insanity, a workout class she used to attend.
Insanity I did in high school, and it can be done anywhere because it's a full body HIIT workout, so no equipment. I think that it's amazing because everyone can do it, and I love teaching it because people can take what they learned from my class and just apply it to any workout. It's such a full circle going from doing it because I was punishing myself to now teaching it. It's just such a good feeling, especially because these people, they suffer in my class, but they walk away with smiles, every single one of them, and so that's the best part. They walk away proud, and I walk away proud from teaching every single one of my classes.
Lefkowitz says she's now happy with her eating, her workouts, and her life. In Chapel Hill, I'm Lexi Kopp, reporting.
Kirsten, I don't know about you, but I want to take a class with her at the SRC.
You know what, Caroline, after watching that, me too. I just think it's so amazing how she was able to take her struggle and turn that into a class where she can inspire others.
Absolutely, and teach people healthy habits.
Right.
Well, that does it for this edition of Sports Extra.
We'll see you the week after spring break.